My name is Dave Elkington. I'm the CEO of InsideSales.com. We're a machine learning platform, an AI platform that helps companies in the customer lifecycle, particularly around the sales space, and even more specifically, we help companies who have inside sales organizations increase revenue, drive productivity, efficiency, and visibility using machine learning and AI. I'm in a company and I want to then begin to apply AI. And no one in the company knows how to address this. The first thing you've got to do is actually have to understand your data. The dirty secret about artificial intelligence is that the magic is not in the math. The magic is actually in interpreting your data. 80+% of a data scientist's time is about understanding the data, cleaning the data, structuring the data, putting it in a format that's consumable. And that's actually not traditional. I mean, anybody in a company, any analyst can do that. So it's actually all about the data. Once you actually understand your data, you've cleaned your data, and you've interpreted your data, you can actually hire a statistician to be able to run some basic algorithm. Now, if you're an at-home AI person, the first thing you do is you determine what's the singular question you're trying to ask. And then you need to go get as much data that supports potential variables associated with that question, and then find someone to do the math. But it's kind of those three steps. So the challenge with legacy systems is it's actually an issue of access to data. So machine learning needs really two categories of data. You have structured data and you have unstructured data. When you have data stuck in legacy systems, like old ERP or content, CMS systems or accounting systems or CRM systems, all these systems that, like an AS400, for example, like some of these are structured, some of these are non-structured. Even when they're structured, there's junk data in there, or the way we store the data is very, very unusable. For AI to be very effective, the more structured the data is, the more consumable and usable it is. So the real problem is about getting data from these legacy systems and then moving them into the platforms that have the ability to consume that data and then consume it in a way that it's very usable with machine learning. And most people don't realize it's not just about exporting your data out of, say, Siebel or Salesforce or whatever, PeopleSoft. There's a lot of massaging that has to happen between just getting the data and then actually putting it in a consumable way. So there's a huge deficit of real talent all over the world. In North America, there's a deficit all over Europe and Asia Pacific. I mean, and the reason is because demand for this kind of skill is gone really through the roof, right? And what we found is a weird phenomenon is occurring. Anybody who understands basic statistics, simple regression, machine learning, or anything like that, they all have jobs. Everybody has a job, and it's gone a step further. If you go change your resume to say data scientist on it, you're going to get a raise anywhere from a 30% raise to a 100% raise within a month. And all you have to do is say data scientist on it. There's such a deficit of talent that companies like Facebook have actually created internal machine learning, statistics, and AI learning programs for anyone who's in computer science, virtually anybody, because they're trying to build talent from within because they just can't find the talent externally. In our consumer lives, we're completely encompassed in artificial intelligence. And so if you look at the day in the life of a typical, particularly younger generation, a millennial or a Gen Xer, they're going to wake up to a AI-optimized, climate-controlled house with something like Nest. Then we're going to go on an AI-optimized run using Fitbit or some health tracker. Then we're going to go on an AI-optimized route into work using Waze or Google Maps, while we're listening to AI-optimized music. So everything is completely encompassed and enabled and supported with artificial intelligence. We then get to work, and there's actually nothing. It's crickets. It's actually shocking. There's very little legitimate AI or machine learning that supports our workforce. But it's okay, because when we go home, we're still using that AI algorithm to get home quickly. Something like TripAdvisor or Yelp gives us recommendations on a really nice place to eat. We get home, and again, like we talked about, you snuggle up and binge watch some Netflix, all being predictably recommended and optimized for me. So the thing to note here is our consumer lives are completely enabled with AI, but our business lives are not. everything about machine learning is around optimization. And so it's going to find the optimal cross-section of every possible variable given enough data. And what that really means is it inherently provides ROI when done correctly. So the question you ask is, how do you get endorsement from the C-suite? How do you get endorsement within a company to then begin to leverage some of these technologies? And why has the B2B space been such a laggard in adopting this kind of stuff? There's two things we found. Generally speaking, at the manager, director, and VP level, there's a desire to do this. However, to do something, it still is a little bit ambiguous. And so to be able to get sponsorship to really do this, it actually has to be in the C-suite. There's inherent ROI if you ask the right question. And so if you want to get sponsorship at the C-suite, you have to ask a provocative question that has an inherent ROI as a result of that question.